I do really stress that wherever possible, the more you can get people to come to you, the easier that those conversations are. And so to do that it doesn't matter if it's TikTok or Instagram or Pinterest, just, be constantly putting work out there, commenting on other people's posts and, building your own sort of hub. So that way people come to you. I'm Jay. I go by Creative Wannabe on Instagram, and that's my website as well. I am an illustrator and a graphic designer, and I currently work from home. I used to work in an office, not doing my own business, but when I've worked in design for a while, and I worked in advertising for a little bit. So I've spent the last few years in offices, and this year I made the jump to go full-time freelance. And so now this is my little office, which is in my bedroom. So yeah. For a little while it was fine, and then about maybe 6 weeks in, I really hit a wall and I really started struggling with it, and I didn't realize how much I relied on seeing other people and talking to other people. And so no, that did affect me mentally a lot as well. And when quarantine first started, I experienced quite a dip in my professional work, and so I think that compounded it as well, because you have all this free time and you're just thinking about the jobs that aren't there. So quarantine's going much better now. My daily routine, I read an article which talked about the importance of having a really strict routine during quarantine, and that helped me a lot. So it's usually wake up in the morning and go for a walk, and then make like 3 coffees. I drink far too much coffee. And sit down and work for a bit. I have lunch at pretty much the same time every day. I'm actually eating pretty much the same food every day for lunch. Like it's very structured. And I hold myself to that. And luckily for me, my partner is also a designer, and he also works at home. So we're sort of holding each other accountable to that in terms of, making sure I socialize and helping that like mental side of things. I started developing my own personal projects that I wanted to, because I was quite quiet as well. And I found that helped. So I created like a new range of prints and some different products, and I redid my website, and I really tried to utilize that time. So I'm a big believer in action creating motivation. A lot of the time I find as artists, we don't, or even, designers as well, like we don't have the motivation to start with. And particularly at the start of a project, you're looking at it and you're like, there is so much to do. I have no idea how this is going to turn out. And I don't know. So I will always make a list of the project that I want to do. And like, for me, it does come down to a little bit of self-discipline. I have to like set a timer for 10 minutes and be like, you have a project to redo your website. I'll like break it out into the tiniest steps I can. So it'll be like, make a list of all the projects I want to put on it, get those images. Like, so it's tiny things, and you'll end up with a list of like 10 things. And, you'll be like, I'm going to set my timer for 10 minutes and I'm just going to do the first thing. And I always find that after the first 10 minutes, you're in a groove, you just keep going. And my other big one is I will put like a TV show on one of my computer monitors on Netflix, like something I've already seen, so it doesn't distract me, and it just like helps me zone out and gives me something to think about rather than like whatever painful task I'm trying to do. There's been a massive shift to working from home. And for some people that's really helpful and that's really good, and other people are struggling with it. But I think that the coronavirus and the way it's affected businesses running and the work that people are winning, it's really more about efficiency rather than flash or show. So I think that there is more of a shift towards, I suppose, minimalist, like really fundamentally strong design, and considering what can be done that is effective rather than going over the top just for the sake of it. So for designers now, particularly if you're in school or if you are learning, now is a great sort of example in focusing on, say, like user journeys or how to design something to be effectively understood in like 20 seconds can be made in a day instead of taking a week to make something that's super flashy. Because at the core of it, we as designers, it's all about communicating a message. So it's sort of stripping back the excess because of reduced budgets and reduced timelines, and really getting to the core of it as fast as we can. I think my number one tip would be to build an audience on any platform that you can, because the more eyes on your work, the more helpful it is. The second thing I was in the process of doing was creating to go to like illustration agents, or to go to sort of graphic design studios with almost like a freelancer sort of media kit. So putting together, 8 to 10 of my best pieces of work with a description of, like, a brief description of what the client challenge was, what my thinking was behind my response, and a couple images of my response. And I was going to curate a list of art directors and illustration studios I really, really admired, and I was going to send that out to them. They shouldn't have to be questioning why you did something in a project, or, like, it's all laid out for them. Obviously, if you have any contacts at all, now is the time to be reaching out and saying, hey, we can't have a coffee, but do you want to have like a virtual Zoom call and have a chat? Networking is essential, but I do really stress that wherever possible, the more you can get people to come to you, the easier that those conversations are. And so to do that it doesn't matter if it's TikTok or Instagram or Pinterest, just, be constantly putting work out there, commenting on other people's posts, and, building your own sort of hub so that way people come to you. Thank you for having me.